courtesy, I must confess, the very exuberant support of Ambassador Sanjay Sudhir has been able to host him. We've been hosting many conversations, but today we have the main man, in some sense, speaking to us on what many of us in the geopolitical space and watchers of what's happening around the world agree as a breakout relationship, as a relationship that is setting new standards of trade, security, technology, innovation, and of course, most importantly, the people to people linkages that are underpinning much of this. But before I move to the conversation, let me introduce Ambassador Sanjay Sudhir, a very special diplomat, has been in charge of this very important partnership for India for the last 3 years and 6 months, 3.5 years, a little more than 3.5 years. Before that, he was in Maldives. He has in fact done stints in Damascus and Cairo, so he understands the region. He has been at the WTO in Geneva, so he understands some trade as well. And of course, he has spent a long time in the energy sector, both at the Ministry of Petroleum in Delhi as the Joint Secretary in charge of international cooperation, but also he is the editor of an energy journal that he continues till this date. So he is an energy person, and this city has its own energy, but this Emirates also has energy. So in some sense, in the right place. But Ambassador Sanjay Sudhir, of course, has also been a pillar of support for ORF. Under his leadership, we inaugurated Raisina Middle East earlier this year, and we had His Highness Sheikh Abdullah and our Foreign Minister Dr. Jaishankar inaugurate that particular edition. And we, of course, hosted and launched and finally have housed our research facilities at this venue where you are joining us today. So, so without further ado, let me first, Ambassador, thank you for everything and welcome you to ORF Middle East.
Thank you very much.
So, a very long welcome, but we'll have a nifty conversation and then move it to those who joined us to ask you questions as well. My first question to you. This 10 years of this partnership have been dramatically magnificent in some sense, surprising as well in many ways. In the last 4 years, you have steered it, in many ways, shepherded the relationship in your own way. What for you is driving this remarkable transformation of the bilaterals? Who have been the key actors shaping this? And what for you are the 2 or 3 big ideas that could surprise us in the future in terms of the direction we take as part?
Samir, first of all, I must say that ORF, the logo which we see here, is really a very welcome addition to the think tank space in this country. And I think you've added so much value that last time when you had the inaugural session in Abu Dhabi, both Sheikh Abdullah and Dr. Jaishankar were there for the inauguration. And the kind of sessions you keep holding here add so much value to a relationship, in particular the India-UAE relationship, where there's so much happening and so much needs to be told. So as far as your question is concerned, Samir, I'll take the liberty to quote from the last Raisina dialogue in Delhi in March this year, when Dr. Jaishankar, our foreign minister, was asked the question that which of the relationship does he think has transformed the most in the last 10 years? And without batting an eyelid, he said, India-UAE is certainly one of them. Because this relationship is based on very rock-solid trust between our leadership, their vision. And I think the results, the concrete results are for everyone to see. India is rising, UAE is rising, and together the conviction is that we can both rise together very well. So historically, we have done well, but this relationship is as much about history as it is about the future. And this relationship, I think, is very unique. And just to elaborate on that point, the largest number of immigrants to this country historically have been from India. in the 50s and 60s, the Indian rupee was actually the legal tender here. So the RBI had issued a special note, the Gulf rupee,
Yeah.
which had 1 to 1 parity with the Indian rupee, which was legal tender here. If you look at trade, everybody knows about trade in pearls, and for the Amaratis, perhaps the most visited country was India. And if you just fast forward all these things to today and just correspond them, so largest number of immigrants, today also the largest number of Indian nationals anywhere in the world is in the UAE, 4.4 million Indians in this country. Not just that, just to share some trivia with you, every day about 50 Indians are born here,
50 Indians.
50. Six to seven Indians also die, also pass away. And every day, the Indian embassy in Abu Dhabi and the consulate in Dubai issue over 1,200 fresh passports. So that's the magnitude of the Indian population here. In a sense, uh, Indians, everyone knows the skyscrapers.
So there is a European-sized India living in Dubai. A European country size, like 4-5 million. That's like a European country, right?
Yeah, depends on the country, but yes, it's a sizable population. So I mean, you're talking about Dubai. So Indians are definitely behind all the skyscrapers you see. But now what has changed is that more and more Indians are reaching the top floors of these skyscrapers. Something which by default was occupied by the Europeans or the Americans. You see more and more Indians there. And I'm told that about 60% of all CFOs in this country are actually from India. Uh, if it was pearl trade earlier, now it's trade with under SEPA. If it is about Indian rupee being the legal tender at that time, now it is the local currency trade settlement mechanism, which is a very unique mechanism under which we settle our trade in rupees and dirhams. If it was about India being the largest visited country by the Amaratis, today 5.5 million Indians actually visited the UAE last year in 2024. That's a huge number. I mean, UAE is today the largest visited destination for Indians. On another front, India has very close relations with the GCC, as you all know. But the first comprehensive strategic partnership agreement was signed with this country in 2017, when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed was in India as chief guest on Republic Day. And if you look at the number of visits, Prime Minister has already visited the UAE 7 times, 4 times in the last 3 years. MBZ has visited India 4 times. But now it's going beyond in a very special way, because in the last 1 year, since September last year, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalid, has visited India. The Crown Prince of Dubai, Sheikh Hamdan, has visited India in April this year. And these were not ceremonial visits, they were concrete visits. So for instance, in Sheikh Khalid's visit in September, we broke into new territory. We launched the work on the virtual trade corridor for IMEC. We ventured into critical minerals, nuclear space. When Sheikh Hamdan visited India, defense engagement took off. The announcement on setting up IIM Ahmedabad campus in Dubai, that happened. So much happened in these visits. This is about the visits. And so now the relationship is again venturing into several new areas. Now we are actually investing in our next generations. For instance, setting up of the IIT Delhi campus in Abu Dhabi. That campus was set up in January. They started work in January last year. So within a short space of about a year, we have the BTech program, the MTech program. January this year, the PhD program also started. And Abu Dhabi Inc. takes pride in hosting IIT Delhi campus. So just a week before the visit of Sheikh Khalid to India, he himself visited and inaugurated the campus. We are setting up the IIM Ahmedabad campus in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, because it makes more sense to have. And here again, uh, when we are sending across our premium brands, we have to be very conscious about what we are doing. And the kind of reception we get here is huge. So for the Abu Dhabi campus, IIT Delhi, it has now actually fully entrenched itself in the innovation ecosystem of Abu Dhabi. So it has these MOUs with MBZ University of AI, with Khalifa University, Zayed University, Sorbonne University, and doing a lot of work. And actually, I mean, this innovation part has actually taken off. For IIM Ahmedabad, the campus, I think, will get ready maybe by the end of this month. Admission process has already started. And by mid-September, the first MBA course will start. So I was just talking to the director of IIM Ahmedabad, who was here a few weeks back, and just generally asking him, "Kya ho raha hai? About how's the admission process going on?" To my pleasant surprise, he said that the similar one-year MBA program which they run in Ahmedabad gets a GMAT score for about 720 out of 800. Here, there are applicants with 760 also. So I mean, so that speaks of how important this campus is regarded here. Uh, Last but not the least, the BAPS temple, the BAPS Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi. I mean, it's not that the BAPS Hindu Mandir is the first Hindu temple. There have been Hindu temples before that. There have been gurdwaras, churches of all kinds. But this is something which is emblematic of the ethos of India, the ethos of the UAE. The graciousness, the generosity of the Abu Dhabi government by giving land, by providing facilitation. So much so that Prime Minister himself inaugurated the temple in February last year. So on all these things are actually happening here.